Shalom. Barakatha Yahweh. Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Barakatha Yahweh. Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Barakatha Yahweh. Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim La Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Rachahakotash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. So, Brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Rachahakotash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Okay. I got this clip. I just came across this clip, and I want to play it. I haven't gone too much into, what this guy is, but I'm assuming based off of what he's saying in that video that that's not his first video. Okay, where he speaks about quote unquote contradictions in the Bible. That was the title of that video. Yeah, and there's more. Okay, we may play a few of these. We'll see how the spirit goes. We may not. Okay, so let's play this clip and let's talk on it. Lord willing, you're edified.
Sex with a slave girl whose freedom has never been purchased, but who is committed to become another man's wife, he must pay full compensation to her master. Oh, how nice of you to make this law, God. We appreciate that. But since she is not a free woman, neither the man nor the woman will be put to death. In other words, if I go and take somebody's slave woman and have sex with her, as long as I give them a couple of shekels, I'm good to go, because guess what? She's a slave, so I won't be put to death, and neither will she, because she's just a slave too. Do you really believe in your deepest heart of hearts that the creator of the universe would make a statement like that? Or do you believe that a human being with an agenda wrote that?
Now, there's certain laws, okay, put into place. Let me get back up, which I turned my headphones down because that was pretty loud in my headphones. But anyway, so there's certain things in the Bible, okay, that are written, all right, that people don't have an understanding of. Now, a lot of times when you see certain videos, right, like you see this one right here, let's play this one, right. Then we'll go into the King James versions of the scriptures, and we'll just, Lord willing, get some understanding.
More owning of slaves, more approval for purchasing human bodies, human people. Where do you think this slavery concept came from that literally dominated the planet? Where do you think it derived from? Where do you think the source was? Who do you think taught slavery the most? Who do you think pushed it on the world? Who do you think began to rob, pillage, and rape and steal people from their indigenous lands and transfer them all over the place and put them to work for other people for free labor? It's right there in the book. More.
See, so I don't know where this guy stands. I mean, I believe that based off of this comment, or based off of what he said last time about, do you believe that the Supreme God wrote that, or that a man with an agenda wrote that? See, the scriptures were written to govern man. Okay, the scriptures were written to govern the wickedness of man. Okay, let's see. Up there had been no law let me see if this is the right wording. Romans 5, okay, and 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. For unto the law sin was in the world, but sin was not imputed when there is no law. Okay, so the law was written to show men their transgression. Okay, that's what the law, what does it say? If I do that which is evil, I show. Let's see if this brings it up. Yeah. Romans. No, I show that the law is good. Romans, is this the one? No, there's one that I want. I'm gonna try this. Then I'm gonna do this. Let's see what I come up with. Okay, let's see what's in this Romans. Can't find it. Basically, there's a scripture that tells us that I'm gonna say I consent unto the law. Let's see if that's it. Yeah. Oh, it was in there. I just didn't read it close enough. It's got to be like 25. No. Romans 7 and 15. Slovakia. Okay, Romans 7 and starting at 15. This is not broken down, so I'm just going to read till I get to the point. For that which I do, I allow not. Okay, so the things that we do sometimes are things that we do not allow, or that we would rather not do. For what I would, that I do not. Right, sometimes you have a situation where there's something that you would rather not do, or that you don't want. Like, how can I word it? Spiritually, that it's something that you shouldn't do, or that's not good for you to do, but sometimes you end up doing that thing. Sometimes the desire or the urge is too great, and you do it. Okay, even though you shouldn't, right? But what I hate, that do I. When that's gonna be different for everybody, and that's not saying that you should sin. The scriptures are there. That's why it says that Paul's writings were very hard to be received or be understood, and that the unstable do wrestle as they do the other scriptures. Okay, so you have to understand your condition before you can read Paul. You have to understand that though you strive to do the right thing, sometimes you do the wrong thing, but you're not comfortable with doing the wrong thing. That's the mindset in a nutshell. If then I do that which I would not. Okay, but what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. So why does the law exist? The law exists to govern the wicked. Okay, now then it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. So I'm not going to continue more on that. Okay, but I got the point that I want to get. Okay, the law was created to govern men. Now let's go into this chapter that he was reading, Leviticus 19. I believe it was not 25, nope, and 20, right? It says, and whosoever lieth carnally with the woman, have sex with her, that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged, means she's going to be beaten. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free. Right? And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yahweh, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before Yahweh for his sin which he hath done, and the sin which he hath done shall be forgiven him. So you got to understand the parameters of what's going on here. Okay, this is a woman who was being forced into a marriage. She was a bondwoman. She was a slave woman. I'm not exactly sure what nation she would have been, but nevertheless, she was in this situation. She was not redeemed. The fact that she could be redeemed is leading me to think that she was an Israelite, right? Because you were able to redeem your kin, okay, from the hand of another if you had the money. I don't think we was, now I would have to get into it, but I don't think we was letting no heathens redeem no heathens. If we had heathens in captivity, they was just our heathens. There was different captivities for different people. Okay, there was okay, thou shalt not what is it rule over him with your Leviticus 25. See, there were certain parameters. You had Hebrews that were quote unquote slaves or bondmen and bondwomen, which were sold or which sold themselves unto another person, because they didn't have money. So they became servants unto people, right? It became a servant unto a Israelite who was in a better status, right? So that they could be sustained, have something to eat, have somewhere to live, have clothes to wear. You had poor of our nation, but this was one of the things that happened. Okay, unfortunately, you did have poor of the nation at times. All right, so let's read this. Leviticus 25. Okay, and we're gonna read a little bit about this captivity, Lord willing. All right, and 25 and 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. Okay, now let's go here. Verse 39, going exactly into what I just said, right? And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxing poor, right? So you had situations where there were poor men. It says, and be sold unto thee, right? So, that happened. But it's still, the key here is that these were Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, being sold unto other Israelites. But there was rules set forth. It says, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, right? So, maybe those were heathens that was being forced into these marriages. I would have to go into that more, but we're just going to speak basically about the law and give more understanding. So Salaki on that, right? But let's continue. Thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner. He shall be with thee, and he shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. So this was an opportunity for this Israelite man to be taken care of, right? But let's continue. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his father shall he return, right? For they are my servants which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, and they shall not be sold as bondmen. So there goes, that's a good one right there, right? Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but thou shalt fear thy power. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathens. There you go. So there you go right there. So that answers the question, right? It was a heathen woman, okay, who was, promised to some man or whatever the case was, because it says the bondmaid shall be of the heathen, which I'm kind of compelled to go into the words bondmaid in here and in Leviticus 19. I don't really want to drag it out, but I'm gonna get the word Leviticus. I'm gonna get it real quick. All right, let's go to Leviticus, and let's just see if they're the same or if they're different. Leviticus 19. I'm gonna hit the Strong's button. Scroll down to verse 20. Okay, bondmaid. Okay, a slave girl, a maid servant as belonging to a mistress, and maid servant, a feminine. Okay, a female slave as a member of the household, bondwoman, woman servant. Okay, it says originally concubine, right? Because the women of the other nations were not allowed to be full wives; they were allowed to be only concubines, literally a maid belonging to a mistress, even were a concubine of a master. Right, so a concubine, she would have just been used as a, as a comfort girl, I guess you want to call it. This is literally talking about when we had the other nations, and this did happen. Okay, this did happen in the past. It happened to us as a nation that we were taken down. All right, and it happened when we conquered the other nations. There's literally a law on it. Okay, but the Lord had to put the laws into place to govern men, because men are men. Men were probably doing who knows what before the law was established. So the Lord said, look, we're going to set up a law so that when a man sees a woman among the captives of another nation who y'all about to kill and take them down, if he thinks she look good and he want to have her for a concubine or whatever, then what we're going to do is A, B, and C. Then there's a law on it, okay? And the Lord, if the Lord want me to go into it, I will. Let's just continue to 39. Leviticus 25 and 39. Okay, it says, we're going down to 44. Let's get that word bondmaids. Maid servant, female slave. Let's see if it's the same word. So the words are actually different. So here, saying marriageable. All right, token of humility. Let's see if we can get this Jasinius. Salaki. Famula, as if a noun of unity. Maid servant. Behold, thy handmaid is a servant. Household servant. Boom. Maid servants. She had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. See, so even Hagar, she wasn't no Israelites. And as we read the law, the bond women was not supposed to be other Israelite women. Okay, we already established that as the bondmen and the bond women were supposed to be of other nations. All right, female slave, handmaid, which they do have different words for whatever reason, right? Handmaid, female slave, superiors, handmaid, slave. Utterly unworthy of attention is the idea that a handmaid is derived from the root. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go to the Hebrew lexicon, Justinius. Okay, I don't see an entry here. Let me just make sure. No, that Chaldee lexicon is right there. All right, Con. So that's enough of that. You know what I'm saying? But we read the law on it, right? If thy brother, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant. And so we read it, right? It says that, boom, boom. Both the bondmen and thy bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, they shall be your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children. After you inherit them for a possession, they shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. So, you know, a lot of people don't understand. Okay. Let me see. A lot of people don't understand how things happen in the past. A lot of people, you know, which it is true that Edomite, so-called white people, did use the Bible to enslave us, to destroy our minds. Okay, there are certain customs, you know, which are our customs, being the Israelites, which are normal, natural, and will occur in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, such as one as captivity, okay, of heathens of other nations. The captivity of other nations is gonna be done in the scriptures. Okay, I mean, we can go to Daniel first. I think it says it in Daniel 12. I could be wrong about this. No, that's the wrong. No, that's the wrong one. Let's go here, right? Revelation 2. This is the book of Revelation, right? The last book of the New Testament. Revelation 2 and 27. And 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So it's telling you right there, okay, that he's gonna rule these, you know, them who overcome this test that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has put before us are gonna rule over the other nations. Revelation 13, okay, and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the patience and the faith that the saints have is that them that led them into captivity is going to go back into captivity, and them that killed them with the sword is going to be killed back with the sword. Basically eye for an eye, but it's going to be twofold according to the Bible. Render unto her double for what she's done to you, right? So this is a theme that's pushed forth in the Bible. And yes, the Heavenly Father, see, without the scriptures, how do you communicate or understand what the Most High wants from you? You know, when you have these people to say, well, you think the supreme God? Yeah. How else you gonna know what his mind is about? You know, the scriptures tell us that is it Isaiah? You know, sometimes I'm not that great with location, so I'm gonna have to go Isaiah is what, 50, 55? I know it ain't 53 now. It can't be 53. It's gotta be like 55 or 56. Yeah. Isaiah 55, and I'm gonna just go to verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. When you see all four caps, this is actually the name of the Lord. When you go to the Hebrew, the name is Yahweh. We believe through faith that's how you pronounce it, right? So he's saying, look, you got to forsake your own way. Let's reread verse 7, Isaiah 55 and 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Okay, you're having an unrighteous thought when you question the way that the Lord did things in the scriptures. You're being unrighteous at that point. And it says, and he will have mercy, Salakia, and return, and let him return unto Yahweh. Let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, or our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Yeah, he'll pardon you for your lack of a knowledge concerning the way he runs things. Verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. So you would say God couldn't write that. Why would God allow slavery? What? Yeah, the Most High allowed his people to go into slavery because he told they nigga asses if they didn't do what they were supposed to do, that they nigga asses was gonna go into slavery, and all nigga asses went into slavery. Excuse my language. All right, but that's just what happened. You go to Deuteronomy 28. He said it. He said, look, MFers, all right, you know, because I'm getting a little heated. You know, like, look, man, I'm gonna send you niggas into captivity. You don't want to listen to me? It said right here, man, but it shall come to pass, Deuteronomy 28 and 15, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken. Okay, hark the herald angels saying, listen. All right, if thou wilt not listen unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. He's talking to the children of Israel. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Where was we at? In the cotton fields. We was in them cotton fields, man. Okay. Verse 25, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Yeah, they was gonna take you from your land and make you slaves in other lands. That's what they, to this day, that's where we at. That's where we are, man. Verse 31, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. That if that ain't slavery and being conquered, then what is? Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. You see? Oh, verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. This is explaining every slave video you've ever seen of so-called black people going into slavery. Your children getting snatched and made to be butt naked, get painted, as you would call underage children, butt naked, to be ogled and fondled and examined, to see if they're healthy and virile, handpicked to be comfort girls and little slave, hey man, they said they sold a what did it say? Hey man, sold a boy for wine, a boy for wine, roughly paraphrasing. Come on, man. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. What does that mean, bring you unto another nation? That means these nations is going to conquer you, man. You see? Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor of the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Okay, and there's more. Verse 41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. See, the Lord did this. The Lord put the slavery on us because of our disobedience. Let's see. I think this is where it says it. It might be above this. Baruch chapter 4 verse 6 says, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. Come on, man. That's why they want to keep the Apocrypha out of there. Okay? That's why they don't want the Apocrypha in the Bible. Deuteronomy 28. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. Read 65. 60. Yeah, I read that. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease. Neither the sole of thy feet have rest, Salaki. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Okay? And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have none assurance of thy life. Tell me that ain't life on the plantation. You ain't watched Django, where the nigga was hiding up in the tree? I don't want to fight no more, master. I suffice enough. I don't want to fight him. When they killed his ass and sit the dog on him and let him eat him. You ain't see that Jake in the news? They let the dog out on his ass. He was already handcuffed. Nigga, we still in that situation today. Why is this happening? You niggas fail to realize it's because of the God of the Bible is fucking pissed at us. He's pissed at us as a nation. Okay? He's giving the elect a chance to return, and I hope I be a part of that number. You should hope that you a part of that number, but you ain't gonna be a part of that number telling the Most High that he's wrong or denying his word. Okay, how you gonna put the oil in your body when you think the oil is rancid? The oil is the Bible, man. If you ain't glorying in the oil, if you can't consume the oil, yeah, it's bitter sometimes, right? But you're supposed to take the oil in and hold it in you. But you niggas is spitting the oil out before you can even drink it. Shit, I don't want that oil. That shit stink. 67. In the morning thou shalt say, would to the Most High was even. So what does this mean? Hey, Lord willing, it was the night already. I wish it was nighttime already. And in the evening thou shalt say, I would to God it were the morning. I wish it was the morning already. Basically, you're not going to have any rest in any day. Every day, when the morning comes, you're going to say, man, I wish this day was over. When the night comes, you're going to say, I wish this night was over. It says, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Okay? Yeah, man. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man's going to redeem you. We just spoke about redeeming briefly. I didn't go too deep into it, but you're able to redeem of somebody that if you're their near kinsman, you're able to go pay a sum of money to bring them out of the captivity or to bring them out of the servitude that they were under to another Israelite. You're able to go and say, okay, look, I'm gonna buy you from this heathen for this amount. You're gonna come be with me, you know, and I'm not gonna treat you like this heathen was treating you, because the scriptures tell me not to do that. Okay. But in this case, the Israelites wasn't gonna have nobody to come and bring them back. You know how niggas like to joke and say, ain't one nigga with a boat and a spear come from Africa. You right. Because the Lord said wasn't nobody gonna be able to come redeem us out of the hand of these enemies. Hey, if this ain't a perfect description of slavery, imagine, put yourself in the mindset of somebody living in those times. When the sun cracked and you knew what you had to do that day, you knew that your wife could be your daughter could be snatched. Your wife could be somebody's comfort girl for the day, or your whole family could get split up and be sold. Okay, or you could get your hands or your penis chopped off at the whim of the master, or you could get buck broken, or you could be gator bait. Your child could be gator bait. Nigga, you won't wish the day was over. You wish the day was over, man. Okay, and then the night wasn't no better. You know, if Master decide he want to come in and snatch your daughter, snatch your son, snatch your wife, rape them in your room with you, kill you in the middle of the night, you could hear other Jakes getting killed in the cabin next to you or wherever they living at. You'll be wishing that the night was over too, man. You would hate your life. And that's a perfect description of what Jakes went through in slavery, man. So anyway, Salakia, you know, Jakes like this, you know, with their little lineups and they little, you know, thinking they know better. You don't know nothing, man. You don't know nothing, bro. Scripture say they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. All right. Tomorrow, Indian has the most ancient wisdom. If it ain't the Bible, it ain't wisdom, man. Look at the eye of Ra. You see? This guy doesn't know anything. But with the 644,000 subscribers, you see, folly is set in great dignity. All right, but keep talking against the Bible. You know, you got another thing coming, man. The God of the Bible that the scriptures say, and I'll end it with this. Galatians 6 and 7 says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Yeah, you mock the Most High if you want to, and see if the supreme God of the Bible, who you severely have wrong and have a wrong opinion of, he's a God of war. You see if he don't show you that he's a great and terrible God, Allah Shadia, as the scriptures call him, a terrible demon-like power. All right, the God that flooded the earth except for 8 souls. He's gonna have to show you soft-ass people out here, okay, that you believe that God is just hugs and kisses. He's gonna have to show you that he's a lot more than that. He's a lot more well-rounded than that, and he has a terrible side, and that's why you niggas win the slavery. So with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai by Hashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. With that, I want to say Shalom, Wa Baba Ball, Shalom.